Do you stream on a Roku, a Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app. Watch Action News live.
The big story on Action News tonight.
Plus special programming, breaking news, and severe weather updates.
Tremendous amounts of rain.
Always on. Always the news team you trust. Watch 6ABC 24/7 on your streaming device. Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Hello, welcome to the lifestyle segment of Women to Watch. I'm Cheri Morrison. Today I have the pleasure of introducing Kareem Rosser, author of Crossing the Line and treasurer of the nonprofit organization Work to Ride. Welcome to the show, Kareem.
Hi, Cheri. Thank you. I'm honored to be on, and I'm excited to talk to you today.
Well, we're excited to hear all about you and Work to Ride and Crossing the Line. So this has been long awaited for all of our crew. Kareem's book, Crossing the Line, is a story about he and his brothers by blood and culture, and a sport that changed their lives forever. The sport is polo. Kareem is here today representing a fantastic organization founded and operated by Lezlie Hiner, based in the Chamonix Equestrian Center in West Philadelphia. It's approximately 3 miles north of the Philadelphia Zoo and bordering the neighborhood referred to as the Bottom, where Kareem and many of the kids who are in the Work to Ride program. In Kareem's book, he says, coming from the bottom, you had a better chance of being incarcerated or getting shot than graduating from high school. Ugh. As I read the book, I thought of David and Goliath, Kareem in this case, and his brothers and sisters, their resilience, courage, and how they overcame the odds. Kareem, please tell us a little bit about growing up in Philadelphia, your education, and how you ended up at the barn.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in West Philadelphia. Unlike the Fresh Prince, I didn't spend my time on a basketball court. I was at the Chamonix stables, the Work to Ride program, riding horses and changing my life around. I grew up just in a place known as the Bottom, as I mentioned in my book, which is, one of the, I guess, rougher neighborhoods in Philadelphia, if you will. Myself and my 5 other siblings all grew up with a single mom there, and it was quite tough. But fortunately, we found the Work to Ride program that was founded by Lezlie Hiner back in '94. I started riding horses when I was 8. Joined my 2 older brothers, David and Jabbar, where they were out riding their bikes one afternoon from our park and stumbled upon the stable and met Lezlie, excuse me, and met Lezlie where, she just started the program at that time, or had a few kids involved. And, I've always wanted to pretty much do everything that my older brothers were doing. And then, I got on a horse, and it's been history ever since then.
It's a great story. It's your whole book is amazing because you hit every emotional element there is. I was laughing, I was crying, I was grateful, I was thankful, and I'm so proud of all of you and what you've done, and Lezlie for what she's started. Lezlie Hiner is actually our woman to watch today. She grew up in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and she was involved with horses most of her life. When she got older, she worked for her family's business, but it wasn't a good fit. So from what I've learned, she went out and got a job at a horse racetrack. And then in '94, she stumbled across McCarthy Stables, which has been abandoned for quite a few years by the Philadelphia police force, correct? And then Lezlie decided to put a business plan together to start Work to Ride, and she rented the stables from the city of Philadelphia. Kareem, can you please tell us a little bit about Lezlie and how she operates the barn and has influenced you, your family, and many, many others?
Yeah, I always refer to Lezlie as a saint. She has been a huge part of Philadelphia. I think just her work speaks for itself. Her commitment to saving children's lives here in Philly. I think about, what she's done for my family, all the opportunities she presented to myself and my siblings. As you mentioned, Lezlie left her 9-to-5 job to basically serve inner city youth here in Philly. And, she's doing that by using horses as a vehicle, to teach kids many life lessons, really thinking about some of the important things such as responsibility, teaching kids a lot of soft skills, learning how to communicate with folks, showing up to school, talking about the importance of education, and she's doing all of this at a facility here in Falmar Park in Philadelphia. But this facility is not just a barn full of horses. I like to think of it as it's a barn full of opportunities. We think about the Polo program that we have. That is a perennial favorite for many of the kids, and just the overall success of the Polo program. But it's not just Polo. We offer a number of different riding activities. But Lezlie is, she's a saint, and if we could clone people, she would be my first person that I would clone. Just thinking about all the great stuff that she's done for me in Philadelphia.
Well, that's such a lovely thing to say to her. What a nice tribute. Polo wasn't originally part of the program. Is that correct? I think she took a couple of you to watch and help groom horses at a friend's polo match, and then you came back and decided, hey, Lezlie, we want to learn how to play polo.
Yeah, so when Lezlie first started the program in '94, she was not thinking about polo. She was just really thinking about saving kids' lives. This even before my time, really. The kids were showing up and just riding in mucking stalls, and some of her friends she met, through her days during riding, I invited her to come out and play polo. And at that time, the kids were just helping groom horses, hot walking horses, and kind of watching the game. But I think one of her friends encouraged her to get the kids out there on the field, and that led to Lezlie eventually getting involved in the United States Polo Association Interscholastic Intercollegiate Program, which houses many club polo teams, particularly high school polo teams. So she got involved in that. We got involved in that, and then eventually that I want to say 20 years later, maybe 15 years later, that led to us winning our first national championship.
Yes, and that was a huge accomplishment for you. You had worked on that for years. Lezlie was key in getting you to move to the Valley Forge Military Academy, and you were sponsored there. And then they ended their polo program, and then you continued to ride with Work to Ride before you actually won that championship.
Yeah. So I went out to Valley Forge Military Academy in 7th grade. And I started riding there and playing polo a bit, which took me away from the Work to Ride program, at least as far as the polo team goes. But unfortunately, the polo program at Valley Forge was dissolved, and that left me with Work to Ride. And fortunately, Lezlie had a spot saved for me on the team, and my brothers and I went out and won a national championship in 2011.
Yeah, she did so many great things. I mean, while you were at Valley Forge, she sent you your favorite horse to ride while you were there, which is great.
Yeah.
It's such a feel-good story, but there's a lot of tragedy in the book, and I'm not going to bring that up because I'll start crying. But it's just an all-around great story, and everybody should read this book, because you'll learn so much about people and life, but especially if you're from Philadelphia, because it's incredible what's happening right here, and a lot of people aren't aware. I wasn't aware. I knew that there was a lot of bad things going on in Philadelphia, but not to this extent. So Work to Ride offers a lot of different programs for the kids. Its mission is a nonprofit community-based prevention program that aids under-resourced urban youth through constructive activities centered on sportsmanship, equine sports, and education. As Work to Ride has evolved, Polo has become a really great vehicle to help raise money for the organization. And recently, the Work to Ride Board of Directors has launched a capital campaign to raise $10 million to support and sustain the Work to Ride mission, construct fully enclosed multi-purpose equestrian facility within the Chamonix Equestrian Center, renovate the current stabling and pastures, and seed endowment to ensure sustainable growth. Can you tell us more about this campaign and most exciting, the first Fairmount Park polo match?
Yeah, so back in 2016, when I graduated college, I moved back to Philly. Within a year or two, I joined the Work to Ride board, and we realized that we needed to figure out a way to, think about how do we institutionalize the organization and build out infrastructure and programming that was going to ensure that the organization would be able to sustain itself moving forward. So, a couple of years ago, we launched a capital campaign to raise $10 million to construct a new equestrian facility that will allow us to operate year round. And as you mentioned, also refurbish our current facility that we lease from Philadelphia, for $1 a year. And then also seed an endowment so that we can continue to operate, but also be able to sustain ourselves. So, we launched it a couple years ago, in about a year, and I guess over the last year and a half, we ended the quiet phase, and we are at $9.9 million in total commitments to date, which we're really excited about, and we're hoping that we break ground this April and begin building a new facility that's going to allow us to operate year round. But more importantly, we'll have a really nice indoor riding facility, and we'll be able to play polo year round, which will be the first for us, considering we never had any indoor riding facility of our own to be able to ride during the cold winter months. So we're really excited and thankful for all the people who have supported us. But we know that fundraising never stops. We're going to continue to need funds to support the operations as we move forward. So we want to continue to encourage people to think about us and support us in any way that they can.
Yeah, and you had the polo match. You had thousands of people that came out to watch that. That was really exciting. Do you think that they'll continue that in the upcoming years?
Yeah, so this past year we had the inaugural Philadelphia Polo Classic this past September, which was a huge success in my mind, and I think in the organization's mind as well. We had over 3,000 people come from various parts of the country to participate in a day of two polo matches with very well catered event as well. It was really an opportunity to expose Philadelphia to the sport, but those who normally don't get the opportunity to participate in a sport that's really known as something that is exclusive and quite frankly lacks diversity. So we were excited to to bring that to Philadelphia and give those people who normally wouldn't have that opportunity to participate. And we will hopefully have it again next year. Our plan is to make this an annual event.
Yeah, I watched it. It was streamed on the computer, and I did watch it, and it was really a great event and well done. So I'm excited for it to happen again, and I will be there next year.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have some great sponsors, but there's a lot to do.
Yes.
I know Mars is sponsoring and going to be providing the feed. They have an equine. I mean, Mars, everybody thinks of candy, but they actually have an equestrian line of foods and goods that they produce and sell. So that's awesome. But you have a lot of needs that people should get involved with. You have you need volunteers down at the barn. You need teachers down at the barn. You need everything. I know all of the clothes were donated. You talk about, in the book, you talk about how kids show up in their boots with, duct tape around them. And, you weren't the look that people were accustomed to seeing at polo matches. So it was probably a little uncomfortable fitting in, but that never seemed to be what happened once you got there and got on your horses. I mean, you lost a lot in the beginning, but you gained a lot of respect from a lot of really very elite people not just in the horse world, but just in the world, and travel all over the world. Yeah.
No, I mean, we've been very fortunate. Some of the people that's personally come into my life, some of the people that, has started, that's been supporting the organization since inception. New folks who've just learned about us since my book was released. I know people been seeing us in the media over this last year as well. Everyone knows that it takes a village really to be able to have a program like ours, and that we will continue to need people's support over time. And so we're very, very thankful and grateful for the folks that we have in our corner.
Well, and what do you think are the biggest needs that it's easy for people to get involved with right now?
I mean, I think, again, it's always nice when folks are able to, make a monetary contribution. But, we're always in need of horse equipment, need of people who can, spend their time, and as far as coming and help tutor kids. Education is a huge part of the organization. Looking for volunteers to help with some of the labor that is required around the facility. Folks who may be able to come assist and help in the office. So, I mean, there are a number of opportunities for people to get involved. So we're always welcoming volunteers.
And I think you're looking to hopefully expand this program to other places in the country.
Yeah, ideally, we would love to be able to, take this model and replicate it in other places around the country, because there's always interest from other people from around the country who call us and ask if we could help them start something similar in their cities. And I know after we are able to build our new infrastructure here and take care of ourselves here in Philadelphia, we would love to be able to replicate this and hopefully help some other at-risk youth and other underserved areas around the country.
Well, I think that's a no-brainer. I think you are on it, and you will be successful with all of those ideas and just progress in the next few years. Kareem, we're out of time. I'm so sorry. Everything you have to talk about is so interesting, but I really appreciate your time and sharing your story. You'll come back and join us sometime again. Hopefully, we'll have some news about the next polo match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you, Cheri. I appreciate you having me on, allowing me to continue to share the Work to Ride story and our mission and what we're doing. And hopefully those who are watching, reach out to figure out, how they can get involved or support the organization in whatever way they can.
Yeah, thank you. If you're interested in purchasing Kareem's book, this is what it looks like. It's available on Amazon.com. Kareem does donate a portion of the proceeds to Work to Ride. I believe you said 50%, which is quite generous. For more information about Work to Ride, how to make donations, dollars, horses, equipment, how to volunteer, how to sponsor, see what events are going on, go to www.worktoride.com. Thank you again for joining the show. Sue will be right back after the commercial break. Ladies, keep living your dreams.
Action News, celebrating 50 years with AccuWeather.
The heat is on. In 2010, Philadelphia had a record of 55 days at or over 90 degrees. And those scorchers, they're on the rise. In fact, 10 of the 15 hottest summers occurred in the last 2 decades. Thank you for always trusting us to keep you informed.
You're streaming and we're streaming. Get the AccuWeather forecast and severe storm alerts 24/7 on our 6ABC streaming app.
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true. Whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go for the view that goes on forever. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub and in your drink. Go to bed whenever you want. Or don't. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
Do you stream on a Roku, a Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app. Watch Action News
The
live,
big story on Action News tonight.
plus special programming, breaking news, and severe weather updates.
Tremendous amounts of rain.
Always on, always the news team you trust. Watch 6ABC 24/7 on your streaming device. Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.